Welcome to another episode of Molybdenum. The Molybdenum Software Show is what I'm calling it. Working title, but those tend to stick. I don't know. People get used to things. Jeremy, how are you?
Did not get enough sleep last night. I stayed up too late, but excited to be here.
You stay up too late. Tom Barrick, how about you?
I'm doing very well now. I think coffee's going to start kicking in. Yeah, doing good.
Nice. So here's the format. What we're doing in terms of the format, mob programming, rotation, and such. Do you want to participate fully in this, Tom?
No, I'm going to have to go for a little bit, so I'm just kind of observing at this point.
Observe. All right. So, Jeremy, take command.
Okay. Zahar, take the helm.
Got the helm, sharing screen. There we go. Opening the repo. And opening timer.
Great.
My broken history thingy. Is our shell not working? Is my shell not working?
Intentionally added a crash
So,
to the flake.nix as the very last thing we did yesterday.
So what is it? Big pike? Yeah. Big pike, right? Okay. Starting timer. Mob start. Here's an editor. And there's a crash somewhere. Here it is.
Yep. Okay. So we did a diff of Nix Flake show on main versus this branch, and it turns out we dropped two things. I think these are checks.
Mm-hmm.
Obvious from the context, but we were trying to wrap up quickly yesterday.
Right. It's not obvious, but they are checks, yes.
This one, I think the question is which flake part module would be most appropriate to export these? And I would argue it's the one that defines the programs.
Yeah.
The packages.
Yeah. Okay, so what do I do? Take away the throw. Exactly what to do here. I'll copy this line. I'll go into, where is that? Nixos modules manual. Nixos modules manual. Modules manual. Modules Nixos manual defaults. And I'll just put it here. Comment with a to do. And then I'll remove the rest of this line. That even makes sense. I'll take this line, which program docs, right? I think I'll go to program docs and stick it over here.
Right.
And then I'll stop throwing here and recreate the beginning of the list literal.
Awesome.
And now I can close the flake.nix and pick the left one, program docs.
Okay. Should be straightforward. In a per system check, we're going to add in that exact check unless we want to rename it.
This package should end up as a check.
Agreed.
Okay, so here is the package, and then, this doesn't need to be config, does it?
It does not. Good catch.
Checks dot program docs
/ program docs.
Right. What we have here at the top, packages. By the way, I want to show you something, how there's a problem with completion in the Nix repo and the slash character. Did you see that?
Don't know.
Yeah, basically prevents completion. Maybe Tom knows how to work around that. Tom, did you see that?
Yeah, I saw. And is that specifically for the REPL, or is that also just for command line?
I guess we're about to find out as soon as this evaluates successfully. So checks, blah, 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 equals, we could go self prime packages, program docs, I think, right? And then if we can get self prime here, I think that should do the trick. Removing this line, then going over here. We could already try this one, right?
Sure.
So nix REPL dots. So in the REPL, if I do checks dot, okay, here's completion. Let's pick an architecture, ARC64 NX, and complete. Which one is it? Packages, right? Packages,
Packages program docs.
And then it reaches here, and subsequent tabs are like a beep. You see that flashing of the screen? That's my terminal bell.
And you would expect it to kind of showcase the 3 that are available.
Right. Well, that's definitely exactly what I wanted to do.
Are we even a valid prefix of what we need to type?
Well,
yes.
Are we?
Right.
With that
like if no, so if I this is maybe related. If I do like program doc, I completed myself, then it's fine. But I found that if I leave it this way and press enter,
no, is that right?
No, I'm sorry. No, it's a path,
right?
Yeah.
Like you need quotes around this thing.
Yes, this needs to be quoted, and then it's not Vim here.
And will it autocomplete if you turn it? If you have the open quote and then the /?
Good question. I actually tried that, and as soon as I have a quote here, it does something completely different. It's like not even correct. I don't even know what it's about.
Okay, so the slash is making it think it's a path. So it's turning it into a path-like thing. Right, rather than right. You see how it's turning it into like it assumes that it's now a file. That's checks dot system dot packages / program docs, rather than it being a attribute path.
Yeah, and presumably, I don't know Nix well enough off the top of my head, but like any other characters that are like these sort of infix operators or something that gets squished right next to some other expression probably could trigger the same issue, right?
Yeah, in this case, I think that's what's happening though. Like it's the lexer. This is at the lexer level. It's just thinking that this has become a path.
Yeah,
it's not understanding it or parsing it as a attribute path, but it's a file system path.
Like presumably we'd have the same issue with a attribute that had a space in it, right?
Oh yeah. The space is also creates some weird situations.
Like it's probably okay to do, but I would guess the autocompletion doesn't work.
Yeah, generally we try to avoid that situation. Right. Yeah. You don't. Yes, it can technically use roughly like any C string. I mean, you can put like emojis in there if you really want to, but it doesn't obviously have really good support or work the best.
I am nexting. I have rotated.
Okay. Mob starts 7. So we're going to do the other one you just left a comment on top of, which was this
Yes.
Nixos manual. Here we go. So this defines some config, and here's packages. Great. We'll do the same thing. Wait, where's our per system? We're deep in it. Okay, makes sense. This will be checks dot. Move this down. Checks dot. This thing with quotes. Whoa, didn't mean to zoom out, sorry. Equals self prime dot this thing. And we need our hands on self prime with a comma at the end. Okay. Next, late. Go. Packages / program docs. No, Nixos module manual. Okay, I think we're there.
Looks like it.
Okay, mob next. Okay, and with that, we can do another diff, but I think we're done, and we're ready to look at the whole branch.
Yeah. How do we go about reviewing? This is quite a change.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the last big refactor we did, I think we sort of half-assed the review and just said, hey, we were there for everything. And if anything weird comes up, we'll deal with it. So
But that was quite a trivial one, just a bunch of easy work. But this one we had challenges, and then we tried things and reverted, and I definitely want to look over all the changes.
Yeah. Well, I don't have great ideas other than starting to
top to bottom
take a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So git diff ax flatten tree. Okay. Flake that next.
Could I have like much bigger text?
Yes.
Could this be?
How's that? I can go bigger if you like.
Thank you. No, it's during the recorded screen is fine because it's like async, but the live one, it's not so good.
Mm-hmm.
So, but this solves it for me.
Okay. Right, let me get this scrolled a little bit so you can see the diff of this file. There it is. Okay. So I'm not in love with how we're stomping on the global namespace here. I believe I mentioned that before. Title feels a little generic.
Stomping on the global namespace. Where is this thing used? Can we put it in the library? We have a library, but currently it's not a general library. It's more like a NixOS module library.
Okay. Well, title doesn't show up in that many places, surprisingly. I don't think title is used, or I'm guessing Clippy and Crate Utils don't. Whoops. Title. Clippy has. Oh, crane lib. That's the thing, right? That's our per system. We could jam title in there, I think.
Crane lib.
Isn't that the thing we created?
We might have created it, but it's not like it's anything custom. I think it's an instantiation of.
Oh, okay. I see. I thought we created a library. Nope, you're right. That's right here. Okay, and then here's another place where title is used. But in both cases, it could be a per system.
In both cases, it could be a persistent. But it's the title, it's literally the title of the project.
Mm-hmm.
How about we make that existing lib that we have, our own
Yeah.
lib, we give it like a more general name and make order inside there, and we could fit that title inside as well. Or
I
we
like that.
could do away with it and hard code. It's the name of the project. I don't.
Mm-hmm. Okay for that to get
What do
duplicated.
you think?
So let's duplicate it.
It's when you rename a project, there's like grepping through the source code is inevitable. I'm not saying it's
Yeah.
a good idea to make that work greater, but it's quite a few places that you have to grep through the source code.
Yep.
Already. So there's little benefit to this.
Yeah. Let's do it. There's one. And then there's another one right here. PR tracker. Dunzo. Okay. Whoops. Go away. All right. And then I guess we can flatten this again.
Flatten what?
Module.args was like, we had split it out into a separate adder
Got
set.
it. Got
Its
it.
title was getting jammed in there, but don't need that anymore. Okay. Well, I'll rotate. I'll stop sharing. You're up.
Tom, typically we have typically in mobbing there's more than two, and therefore the thing that you heard us say earlier, such as take command and take the helm, it gets said all throughout these rotations. But since it's just two, it loses its value, and it's just implicit, becomes implicit because it's obvious.
So I used to fly planes in the
Mm-hmm.
military, which was in a very multi-crew sort of an issue. And then when you hand off the controls, there's a ritualistic way of doing it
Oh,
where
tell me all about it.
you say you have the controls. Other person responds, I have the controls, and then the original person again says, you have the controls. So it's like you have it. Person says, grabs them and says, yes, I have it, and then the original person says, got it. You just said you had it. I'm letting go, right? And so there's
The
just like
three-way handshake.
it's a three. It's exactly it's a three-way handshake, right? It's an offer, confirmation, and then another acknowledgement.
Yeah.
And the first one and the third one is the same, right?
Same person, yeah.
No, the same phrase.
Yeah. It's all the same phrase for all of it.
You and I.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's a similar sort of thing even if you do not just handoff control inside of one aircraft, but let's say you have multiple that are flying, like let's say in a formation, and the lead of the formation changes. It happens in a similar way, where you'll kind of offer you'll kind of bring someone up to kind of be next to you, and then you kind of you have some there's like hand signals for it, but you basically kind of I can do you kind of say, hey, like and then you say you have the controls, and the person kind of acknowledges, and then they get in front, and then they say, okay, I have the controls, and then again you say, okay, you have the controls. So you kind of do the same thing that you would otherwise verbally. You also do it like visually, but it's the same pattern of offer, confirmation, acknowledgement to hand it off. And it seems like it's a very similar thing because that you guys are doing, because you want to do exactly the same thing, like who's driving, right, is you don't want multiple people driving at the same time.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. That is super.
Yeah.
I think I didn't. Yeah, the shell doesn't. My shell should the shell work now? Here and
Yeah, we're done.
reload.
Or at least we think we're done.
Here and allow. Ah, good. Mob T4. Got it. Okay, git diff axe entry. So that's no longer changed, that first hunk. And then the imports list is somehow entirely different, seemingly.
Yeah.
Well, there's nothing under Flake anymore.
And that makes sense because there's some stuff on the left that was sort of like checks and packages that those went and imported other, a whole collection of things. And now they've sort of exploded into like API and Fetcher, which do their own thing. And then some new stuff trickled up, like the manual generation and I don't know, integration tests. So it's not
What
surprising
about?
to me that the list is longer.
Yeah, yeah. What about this placing them all under modules? Is that, do we like that? Here's the kind of the tree here. The root looks like this, and then
Yeah.
modules has even more directories.
Oh, well, now that you've shown an LS, this is useful. We have not achieved our goal, I see. Flattentree.nix is still there. Is that unreferenced?
Latin, no, no,
Okay,
that
let's
is
delete it. It's the whole point of this branch.
there.
Awesome. Feels good. What about these two other Nix files floating around at the root of the repo? Are they still in use?
Adders to URL params. It's like a function. It's a pure function.
Mm-hmm.
Filter options. It's another just utility function.
Okay. So it does feel like an internal private library that we thread around with
Yes.
module args would be in order.
Yes.
But we don't have to do that. We've achieved our goal. Flatten tree is gone. So what do you want to do?
I think we should kind of try wrapping it up, and then we can make progress later if we
Yeah.
want.
Yeah, we've done a lot here. Cool.
Okay, getting back to diff. So whatever this list is probably fine because we saw the Nick Flake show.
Yeah.
This flattened tree is deleted.
Yay. We did it.
This is modules API. Default,
Okay.
it imports the NixOS module of the API, which is a Flake part, of course, even though it's called NixOS module. There's a per system that defines packages API. Let me insert a blank line there, API default.
But yeah, that looks good. A module, a package, and a check.
Here.
And we could single line the check if we want.
Flatten this.
Yeah.
Whoops. Next it.
Okay.
Jeremy, take the helm.
Okay. I have the helm.
You have the helm.
DT double quote.
Share screen.
Where's the audio? Understanding what we're saying and doing the right thing. Come on. All right. So I just finished flattening there, and I'll give the same treatment to modules fetcher, because I know that's structured the same way. Add a new line.
I didn't
Delete.
finish that one.
I just did.
Oh, thank you.
Check. Does that look good?
Yes.
Great. Okay. Next way. Okay. So I love both of these. They feel like they're accomplishing their goals and they're not like, they're not exploding my screen. I've also spent enough time staring at Nick's part modules that they aren't intimidating to me anymore. So maybe I'm not looking at this with the fresh eyes I would have had a week ago. But I'm happy.
Me too.
Okay. We're going through the diff, right? Okay. And for the record, Nick's Flake check just succeeded. So that's good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Show.
Div
Get
hacks.
diff. Yes, thank you. Okay, great. There's our list. Adios, flattened tree. Modules API looks great. Okay, modules API Nixos module, which is a file inside of that API folder. This unfortunately does
Mm-hmm.
not fit on my screen.
That's okay.
Okay, so here's something that sort of smells off to me, but we're not going to deal with right now.
Right.
We have
Yeah.
added this
We have
key in
acknowledged it.
file, which, that was the
Mm-hmm.
whole adventure. We are more knowledgeable about the Nix packages module system
In
than
which Nixos modules did we decide to have key and file?
I think we opted to do it in all of them.
Okay. Cool. We have
We
3,
needed to do it for
right?
ourselves for that private common one. Yeah. And then I
Yes.
think it's a good thing to do for our users, for our public ones, because if they ever created a diamond dependency, they wouldn't be able to
Yeah.
use our code. So we kind of, we fixed a bug while doing the 3-factor, but I'm fine with just leaving it in this branch.
Fixed the bug.
But
We fixed a bug. Yeah.
it's arguably an observable change from the outside, so this is not just a refactor. But I am okay with that.
Uh.
Oh,
Ye,
am I convincing
yeah.
you not to be okay with it?
You prompted me to think about the nature of the commit because we are using semantic release and all that, conventional commits,
Mm-hmm.
and
I mean,
it's
we
like
can delete 6 lines of code and add them in a separate PR if we want. Like, it's not a big deal. If we want to preserve the existing bug and then fix it in an isolated change.
preserve the existing bug. Otherwise, there's literally no difference in the packages and not the Nix.js modules that we expose, right? I think there is another difference because we used module args for something that we now do not use. That is considered private anyway, so that
Yeah, I don't feel bad.
could
I
still
don't feel
be
bad about that.
considered a refactor. Is this considered private in any way that we have this key and file? That's not private. That's a feature. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I
arguably a
think we
bug fix.
should. Yeah, I think we should remove them and then add them in a following commit.
Yeah, great. So I'll do that to API Nixos module. Really? Why am I not finding it? There it is. I'm just blind. Sorry. Early in the morning. Hello. Goodbye. Oh, dang. That really gets rid of some variables. Well, was with system used? What? I'm a little confused. That was just an existing issue. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. Whatever. We have something in the backlog to make that harder to do on accident. Okay. And then
I
Flake.
did that I finished doing that in another repo at work today.
Nice. Happy with the results?
Yeah, it works. I don't know, it works.
Sweet. Okay. Going back to the diff. We'll have to just. Should I file an issue? Or are you going to remember to do this?
This will be the next thing. That's fine.
Okay. Great. I think we'll get to it today. So, all right. moving down, moving down, moving down. Here we go. API Nixos module. Okay, so it does not define key or file. I don't feel the need to like scrutinize the options carefully. We didn't change them. We just like inline
Without the
lib.
key, how is it? We did the key to solve our own problem with in this particular refactor, right? Like
Yes, we did.
we'll have the same problem. We just like we cannot make this refactor basically. We have to do the key in a previous commit.
No, we do not, because the for API and fetcher modules, we're not using them in a diamond dependency anywhere in our checks or in this repo.
They both import the private DB one.
Yes, and I did not delete the key and file from that one.
And it's private, so that doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah, I only
Cool.
deleted it from API and fetcher. So, I mean, let me check, but Nick's Lake check should still pass.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry if it was not clear what I was doing. Are you okay with that?
Yes, it's private. It's
All
a refactor.
Next, we're on the API Nixos module, and I'm going to advocate that our eyes glaze over a little bit while we look at this file.
Also, okay. Let's start 7. Git diff ax flatten tree API default Nixos module. This is where
Wonderful.
we are.
Yes.
Make Nixos module lib private flake Nixos modules API. It takes a bunch of things: lib, packages, config, and options. Import this utility. Nixos module lib is make Nixos module lib, passing a couple of things there: options and config.
Slick.
CFG is short for configure, the usual.
Mm-hmm.
The NixOS module imports private NixOS module
There's
DB.
the magic.
Option services, PR tracker. Now, there shouldn't be a difference much in this. We didn't intend to make changes in the substance of these NixOS modules. So
I would sort of skip
unless
past
I
this.
see some commented out code,
Yeah.
I'm going to just
Love it.
make
I'm
do.
with you.
All right. Modules Clippy, that's been extracted out of somewhere else. Persistent, this is from the top. This is persistent source cargo artifacts crane lib.
It's arguably an integration test. If we wanted to find another home for this, it's like looking at the repo as a whole.
This is an integration test?
I don't know. I mean, it's like we've got API, and it wouldn't belong in API or fetcher, right? Because this is looking at the whole repo.
It's a shared check, but it's not checking any integration between things. I would leave it here.
Yeah, I'm fine with it too.
Checks Clippy, crane lib. This is probably very much similar. This has been inlined, but otherwise it's probably the same.
Mm-hmm.
Create utils, modules create utils. So this is where these come from, right? This and that.
Yes,
These
sir.
two. Create utils. And this somehow remained unrenamed. This is the same path. No, it's renamed, but it's been identified as a rename.
Yep. Impressive.
Okay. Self and graphical schema are no longer here for some reason. It has inputs instead of inputs prime instead of system.
Mm-hmm.
The change here is how we get Phoenix from inputs prime instead of writing system.
A little bit of ergonomics.
This is simply move of a directory. and all of these as well. This is also probably, where is this from?
I think we inlined that in the one place that needed it, which was like where we defined the module.
Right. I remember something like that. Title is gone. Cargo. So, sorry, title. What's like persistent? This is a let-in, so I should be able to see more changes down here. Okay. Key name hard-coded, and then.
Yep. And the call package pattern is gone. This is the big change.
Yeah, it's also in a different. I don't even know. Oh, that's our call package.
Yep.
So that we don't need a call package anymore. This is some inherits. This is some what you have kind of to do when you don't use flake parts, or maybe you don't have to. I'm not sure. Packages is no longer this packages from directory recursive.
Yeah.
Which is a Nix PKG's thing. It's now, every module, flake part module defines its own things. We lost this inherit checks. This is basically not really equivalent. This is just nonsense.
Yeah, this stuff got just moved elsewhere.
We don't have flattened so we don't have checks for flattened tree.
Yep.
No, this is a usage of flattened tree.
Yep.
This is the usage of flattened tree, isn't it?
This was all of the checks getting defined. Well, it may have at one point been all the checks. Now it's probably on the left. It's probably only some of the checks. I'm not sure.
This is where Clippy came from.
Yeah.
And in module args, so this became much smaller in size.
Yeah. It just became a library, which is nice. And I might argue that the module args thing that we send around, maybe all those should get homed under some object, some attr set that's like PR tracker library or something. Again, because I just feel weird about like injecting SRC into the like global scope that is like the module argument namespace.
I agree.
So like if I were to give it a name, I'd call it ptlib to keep it short for PR tracker.
How about a follow-up commit though?
Yeah, that's fine too.
Because everything works also, now.
Yeah. And we could like, when we do that, we could maybe move those imports, like get rid of the dangling Nix files at the root of the repo.
Okay.
Because that feels like library code. It's like pure Nix library code.
Sure. So I'm pretty sure we are actually using all of these.
I agree.
Here we lost a redundant parentheses, which is unrelated change. So let me undo that if you don't mind.
That's fine. Hopefully we're going to enforce this stuff at some point.
Dev shell git. I think I'm going to do that manually because it's a rename as well. So that would be dev shell. Huh. But yeah, I think it's pretty clear that here's the diff again. Dev shell. No changes, just a rename.
Just a rename.
Next. Stop sharing. Take the helm.
I have the helm.
You have the helm.
Okay. I just did a mod start, and I'm going through the diff again.
I was in dev shell. We were
dev shell.
At dev shell.
There's the rename.
It's probably the same order, isn't it? Right?
I think so, because it's just massaging.
My experience with things being not the same order is git diff versus VS Code for some reason.
Okay.
Has its own order.
Got it. Okay. Modules fetcher default. So we already touched this file and looked at it. It feels reasonable to me. A Nixos module, a package, and a check for said package. Feels good to me.
All right.
Modules fetcher, and then again, I think we're going to let our eyes glaze over a little bit. We're just looking for commented out code. So we are now a Flake parts module, and we pull in that shared. There's our diamond dependency right there. Various options. Nothing interesting going on there, hopefully. Just zipping through it. Here's our config. Also, we didn't do anything. Didn't intentionally change anything here. I'm not seeing any commented out code or anything. Okay, I feel good about that file. Are you okay with the pace I'm going at?
Yeah, I'm comfortable.
Great. Okay, filter options checked. We sort of got a little more opinionated about how we name these files. And then we're importing filter options, and we moved up a directory. So
Why?
yeah,
How? Oh,
I think this is another library file just littering the root of our repo that we could fix in the future.
it's just. Does it? Is this evaluated? Because this check is does this get evaluated on next
Filter
like
options check?
check?
I think so.
Yeah.
Filter option. Derivation hello, a little confusing, but you explained that to me.
Okay. And I see no reason. If this shows up here, then I see no reason why it would not still evaluate the unit tests.
Yeah. Okay. This is gone. This got moved into the Flake Perch module. I mean, we promoted this up, and then it grew to, it evolved to pull in the Nixos module in a different way. So yeah, I'm not surprised this file is gone. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Checks. This is a concept that does not exist anymore. We don't singularly define anything anymore. It's all broken up and nicely decomposed. So, the Nixos tests themselves are defined in a separate integration tests Flake parts module.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with fetcher, exact same treatment there. This is gone, I think. I think we got rid of this hidden option, internal option
Yep.
thing in favor of using module args, which is great. Formatting is a Flake part module. It was a Flake part module before, so nothing really changed there. Okay, integration tests is a brand new file. I'm not sure what all the colors are trying to tell me, given that it's a brand new file, but yeah, it's a Flake part module. It defines a check for API, default package. That makes sense from the name. So feels reasonable to me.
Yeah.
The important part here is this node to API test, which is kind of non-obvious, but that's some library code. I guess we'll see it further down in the diff. And then this right here is kind of an awkward let thing that we're going to see a lot of, where we're defining a node.
Mm-hmm.
So moving on, integration test API default. Okay, so this would have made sense to read first. This is where that Nixos test, node to API test helper function is defined, and
Mm-hmm.
then we pull in the two things that use it. We debated using import apply here instead and opted not to.
Yes.
And then API TCP/DB, this is just, we looked at default package. Now we're looking at this one. Same thing. Node to API test with a big ol' let block. And we didn't change the test in any meaningful way. Again, I don't know what these colors are trying to tell us. I apologize on behalf of whatever get diff filter I'm using.
Oh, don't apologize. Just use Difftastic.
Yeah, I want to opt into not seeing white space changes. Modules integration test create locally. So this is, yeah, All right. This, I think, was the very first integration test we ported over to this new pattern. Defines a Nixos test. It's not using any helper. Imports API and fetcher. There's our diamond dependency because both of them go and import DB. And yeah, we're configuring some services and running a test. Very cool stuff. All right. Integration test. There's our 3 entry points, but each of these actually define 2, so there's 5 total. No change there. And then fetcher has similar treatment. So here's the node to fetcher test. We'll see the helper library method on the next file. Here we go, node to fetcher test. Imports 2 things. This is the exact same pattern we just looked at for API, so I'm just going to keep zipping through. Fetcher TCBDB, there it is. Fetcher with TCBDB. Looking good, looking good. And it is in fact a TCP test. We didn't get confused when we were moving files around. Enabled TCP IP. All right, looking good. Moving on. That's it for integration tests. We're now on to modules, Nixos, manual. I have nothing to rotate, so I'll just hand it off to you.
I got the helm.
You have the helm.
Start 7. Hit diff ax button 3. You said Nixos something something?
Yeah, Nixos module. No, sorry. We were on Nixos manual.
Program docs? Manual?
Nixos manual / default.nix. There it is.
Here. There's a comment at the top here. Let me look at it in the editor.
Uh-huh.
So it's manual. Do you know what? I mean, this whole file cannot be like applying to the entire file. I wonder where it's coming from. Let's see the diff. Let's search for this in the diff. NIR expressions, right?
Mm-hmm.
NIR expressions. Well,
it was
here,
equally useless.
Maybe. It's like where I probably the example has been taken. Fine, can leave it here.
Mm-hmm. Go back to the diff.
Well, this is the file. It's like a kind of a new file, so we can look at it here.
Okay.
Lib input self system. There's some bindings. I wanna not do this anymore. I want to use lib fully qualified.
Okay.
Filter options, configuration. I think nearly nothing changed here. Nothing should have changed here. So I'm going, sorry, it's not this one, it's this one. I'm going past it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rename of that manual MD, no changes.
Mm-hmm.
This is NixOS modules lib. That's where we receive lib in with system, and then we expose this make NixOS module lib.
Love it.
Takes options and config, and exposes some things, including some options that are kind of shared, the value option definition itself.
Mm-hmm.
This otherwise it probably did not change much.
Agreed.
Package adder. What is package adder?
It's an attribute into a package set.
It's an attribute. Package option. So sorry, what is this?
That is a string. It is a index into our package set. So In real usage, it's going to get called once for
API or fetcher,
and then once for fetcher. Yeah.
okay. Modules NixOS API, that's actually a rename. NixOS Common is actually a rename. NixOS DB is actually a rename. Fetcher is actually a rename.
Mm-hmm.
Private
There it
NixOS
is.
modules DB.
Ah, you caused us so much fun.
So get the module location, define a private NixOS modules with a single module in it DB. And that's a NixOS module, so it gets lib and config and options.
Hey,
And
sorry to interrupt. I'm gonna head out, but
All right.
thanks for letting me listen along.
Nice to meet you.
This seems interesting. Actually, have some ideas of something along these lines might be useful to do with the Nix code base.
Sweet.
glad we could entertain you for a while, Tom.
All right, you guys have a good day.
You too.
Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.
Otherwise, this didn't change much. This was necessary.
That's the magic.
And this requires that all these other things, they live. We had this anyway because we had options and
We had
config
that
here.
because option and config, exactly.
And that shouldn't have changed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just glance. There's an index for the private NixOS modules that keeps it tidy to some degree.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll have more, but I'm fine with this structure.
DB, yeah. Program docs. This might have been a rename. It's not recognized, but in any case, it's just a simple per system that does this cargo doc. That seems fine.
Mm-hmm.
And a check, like you said. Rename modules release default. Rename of no, yeah. It's just a moving of this entire release directory into modules release. NixOS tests. API default package.
We already looked at the integration test where these got moved to.
API package. You mean default package? No, this is the kind of an index.
Yeah.
API TCP/DB. Create locally package.
Yep.
Fetcher default package. Fetcher package. Fetcher TCP/DB. API package. Fetcher package. Okay. We are in this file. NixOS modules manual package.
Okay.
And I don't think I have any changes.
Great.
Go ahead. Take the helm.
Okay. Sharing screen. All right. What was it? NixOS modules manual?
NixOS modules manual. But not this one.
Okay.
Package.nix. Yes.
Great. Okay. Great. So the manual got moved somewhere else. Makes sense. Program docs also got moved somewhere else. And that's it. We're at the bottom. The end.
Okay.
I have one observation.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying I want to make this change, but I want to talk about it. To get your thoughts. Okay. This pattern shows up everywhere we define a package. We define a package, and then we have to just remember to add it to checks. And in fact, We forgot to do that on 2, and it was only because we diffed the output of Nixflake show that we even noticed.
Yep, correct.
So my question is, should we actually write this generically? Like, should we have a separate Nixos module called like package checks that just like, maps over all of the packages on self prime and creates a check for each of them?
Packages that could work.
That seems to be our attitude right now. Is every single package we expect to build in CI as part of Nixflake check. That obviously wouldn't work for like a repo like Nix packages where you need to be more nuanced about what it means to pass checks.
But this is also fine.
What I like about this is it's explicit. There's no weird like generic magic somewhere else that's going to be hard for people to find. So I am fine with this.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about it.
I don't feel motivated enough to change it.
Great. All right, I'm going to do them up done. Sound good?
Could you, before that, give us a Nix funct?
Good call. Should have done that before the diff. Oh, formatted 10 files, 0 changed. Weird. So, okay, so it's saying 10 files have busted the cache or something, but then it ran the formatter and they didn't change.
And
now none are busting the cache.
And a Nixflake diff of the Nixflake show again?
Ooh, okay. ANSI strip, ANSI. Oh, I can get it in my shell history, but I'd sure love to memorize it.
Isn't it ANSI filter?
Yep, you are right. Okay. So there's a Nixflake show before, and then after Nixflake show, ANSI filter after, diff before, after, diff t before, after, reset, diff t before, after. Here we go. Okay, no surprise there. We renamed Nixos tests to integration. No surprise there. And then we're going to see that for every system we support, of which there are 4. Okay, we dropped a NixOS module called common. That was the one that defined the underscore packages package set.
Hence making it private?
I mean, it was already private, but yeah, the difference is people could have, in theory, gotten their hands on this and imported it. And now we caused that Nix code to fail to
private,
evaluate.
it was undocumented. So if it's undocumented, I don't see a reason to.
Yeah.
But Nixflake show is also kind of a form of documentation. But even if they see it in Nixflake show, I don't know.
Yeah.
How about we expose it intentionally and then have another commit that breaks it?
Sure. I mean,
what do you think? You think it's private enough to?
Speaking as our one user, I don't care. But if you want to just do the right thing and not think about nuances like who's using the software, I totally get it.
Yeah. Yeah. How easy is it to make it public again?
Well, it doesn't exist anymore. So we'd have to just create an empty NixOS module called common, which we could do.
Really? Wait, it doesn't exist?
Common
It
is the
doesn't
one that
exist.
had that underscore whatever package set that was
Oh,
like
that.
hidden. That was like it, the need for it evaporated now that everything's a Nix flake part. Nix part flake. Oh my gosh. Nix flake parts module. Sorry, it's early in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Good entertainment.
Yeah, sure. Jeremy's stumbling over English.
if if we have kitties uh, looking up to us and appreciating what we do, and they want to be us, and they want to have this expertise, and it's like
Oh boy.
jaw dropping for them, and then Jeremy stumbles with his speech. I think that's just adds some entertainment.
Okay. I feel on top of the world. Thanks for that. Okay, so common, let's put a pin in that. I want to get through this before I rotate. So that's it. It's just the only other thing is we renamed Nixos modules manual to Nixos manual. So I have no changes. I hand the helm to you. You have the helm.
Tough decision here. Tough decision. Starting.
Like
Yeah, you know
the way
what?
I would maybe say this is
Here, I
going.
want to. My only reason. The only wait. Where's my Firefox? Come on, start. The only reason I kind of don't want to make a breaking change is I don't want to bump the version. So it's not. But let me show you something. You
Mhm.
see this package?
I don't see
This
anything.
is my. I don't see any. I mean,
I'm
yeah,
blind.
you're blind to my vices. This is the only my only open source, my only popular open source project,
Okay.
like obviously popular, and I want you to see what major version it is by now.
62. I don't know where the versions are. 83. Nice.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
that ship has sailed for me. It's just a means of communication, and there's nothing wrong with like making small breaking changes and marking them accordingly in your version string. And if your users don't want to use some software because it says version 700, then
Oh yeah. I mean,
maybe they should reconsider.
yeah. I'm not big on semantic versioning, and that doesn't mean that I'm opposed to semantic versioning.
Mm-hmm.
I just the thing you're trying to communicate to me doesn't feel useful. It's like a breaking change, like this common one. I know as our only user, yeah, it's technically a breaking change. I also
Mm-hmm.
knew I was never supposed to be using it, and I'm not using it. So it's not a breaking change for me. Now, in the abstract, academically, it's a breaking change. But,
And that's
there's no
what we
way to
should be
convey that
working for.
nuance. Sure. But
We should be
I'm just
working with
saying,
this.
as a user
Mm-hmm.
of software, the
Mm-hmm.
academically, yes, it is a breaking change. I got rid of something that shouldn't be there. I refactored something that was wrong and you shouldn't have been using. It's like I can probably do that update without needing to change my code in any way. So what is the use of you conveying these breaking changes to me? It's like, I don't care. I'm going to do the update. I'm going to run my unit tests. And if
Mm-hmm.
things pass. I don't care if it's a major change. I don't care if it's a breaking change or not. I'm just going to be constantly updating everything anyways. That's
It's a
more of the
slippery
like
slope, Jeremy.
a slippery slope to like just saying version numbers have no meaning.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm more of a Calver kind of person. That's what I prefer on software. It's just like a give me the date you last made a change. Don't just refactor for the hell of it, but like just I wanna stay with you on the latest code and if you have such a philosophical change about the project, maybe you make a new project rather than like try to annotate that with a breaking change, because like I don't know. Anyways, that's my whole spiel.
Well, good. Thank you
On
for sharing. That's it's another attitude. It's fine.
And that's not me saying I'm opposed to us following Semper. What I was
Mm-hmm.
going to say about this whole like common thing, we can absolutely do it. It's academically, I get it. It's the right thing to do. Let's not make a breaking change, or let's make the breaking change as a separate small thing. Totally fine with that. I'm happy to spend our
Mm-hmm.
time doing that. I do not feel like I'm going to become a better engineer from going through that exercise. So I'm not like actually motivated to do it. But if you want to do it, I'm totally fine.
Yeah. In the practically in the off chance, right? In the theoretical technically possible chance that a user has imported a common uh, explicitly,
Yeah.
and not really end up using explicitly the single option that's in it.
Oh, you know what?
Because
Wouldn't it have cost like a diamond issue for them? Because we weren't
no
declaring
common.
key.
Oh,
Because we imported ourselves, and then if they're also importing it,
but that diamond thingy does not exist in main,
I
but
think it does.
we do have some kind. There is a test in main. If I switch to main, pull
Yeah.
it.
Okay. So okay, I think there's some subtlety around whether basically I think we aren't getting deduplication of our Nixoff
See,
modules.
create locally imports both API and fetcher,
Mm-hmm. Which
and of
both of
course,
them import the
yeah,
common.
XOS API. XOS API imports common, I think, or maybe not. I mean, it has to. What's going on here?
Is it in db.next?
Is it?
That would be a little odd.
The heck is this? What is dot? What file even is this? Dot? Is this like a bug in the editor or something?
I don't know where you're looking. Sorry.
Top here.
Oh, yeah, that's just a no-op, I guess. Probably the way you got there by doing GF. Did you do a
Ah,
GF to get
okay.
here?
I think yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's NeoVim's not like normalizing the path, which maybe it could. Yeah, I don't see how commons getting pulled in. It must be.
But
I agree with you.
it is. So this is created locally, right? And default package. So there's no reason for it to specify the package. This test to specify the package, but it does get specified because it has to.
Yeah. I mean, is it possible that we just did it in our test? Which would mean that our users
This
had to do it? Yeah, so there we are using it, config._PR tracker packages.
this is options. Jeremy, what are we doing here?
This looks reasonable to me. We're making
This
it
is
possible for,
declaring an option.
yeah.
That's not. Why are we making an option in the test?
Are we in a test here? I don't
No,
think we
it's
are.
not the test. No,
This is
wait.
the definition of the API module.
Common didn't exist. It comes from config. Yes, config. This is what, right? So PR tracker this thing.
Yep.
I mean, we know where it is. We don't know how it gets included in the evaluation.
So if
We
you grep this
forgot.
repo for nixosmodules.common, do you see it anywhere?
I have rotated.
Okay. All right. CSV, CCM, full, grep nixosmodules. That's right here. Did we miss that? Oh, okay, so that's how we're pulling it in. We didn't do it here because this wasn't a flake part module, so it couldn't get
Where
its hands
is
on
this?
self. This is in modules flake API.
Modules flake API. Flake NixOS modules API imports. And there is common. So why is there no diamond?
I think there is. And I think the thing that's relevant here, this is not the one. Nixos, common. Is this really it? No, I'm confused. Okay. So this common one, is this really a NixOS module? This just looks like an adder set. I think I've got the wrong thing. Modules, Nixos, Nixos common. There we go. Okay, so I think if we dug into this, we would find that actually this is not getting deduplicated. And perhaps that's okay because these are like safely mergeable settings.
Really?
That's my guess.
You can, this is an option.
Because you remember how when we were first running into this, to trigger it, remember how we had to do this whole thing? Actually, remember, like I was saying, why weren't we running into the issue with common? And we like started burning down the differences, and eventually it turned out to
What
be
is the
related.
difference?
It was having a default value was what did
Oh,
it.
it was having a default value.
So that must
I remember
somehow,
that.
this is like an implementation detail or something. Something about having a default value means these things can't be merged. So this one is not getting deduplicated, but safely merges with itself. But if we added like a default value, it probably would no longer safely merge with itself.
Okay, so that answered the question. Whoa, maybe
I think so.
that's why there is no default value here. Maybe that's why we do options this and then config.
Oh, like maybe we ran into an issue and that sounds plausible. Okay, so that all said, I don't remember. Oh yeah. Whoopsies. I guess I'll give myself the most convenient small number there. Did that not work? 5. There we go. So I don't remember how we got here. Can you pop the stack for me?
We got here because I suggested that the chance, the risk that we take if we break it theoretically,
Oh, right.
is that if a user is using importing explicitly the exposed common module, even though they're not explicitly using any of the options there, and then we remove that. And you said, well, if they're using that, shouldn't they suffer the same? And no, they shouldn't, because it's mergeable, infinitely mergeable.
Yeah.
So that's strictly that's the possibility of the breaking change.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's a thing that somebody could be doing, for sure. It's a thing they shouldn't be doing, and I do
They
not feel
shouldn't.
bad about making them change their code. I also know there isn't anybody who will be affected by it.
Well, making them change their code is is that's going to happen anyway. Question is, do we do it overtly or covertly?
Yep, I hear you.
So how about we make an empty module there just for that purpose, just like
Sure.
we treated the key and the file, not adding them to.
What is this? No, this is not a persistent. Flake dot mixoff modules dot common equals something like that, right?
Right. Click show.
There it is. And we can add it to do about removing this.
We'll we'll do that real soon because we're just about to. No need. We're just about.
Okay.
Okay, whatever you like.
Yeah, I would just say
We're
added or backwards compatibility to do remove this. Okay.
cool. So now we don't think what we are breaking any usage.
Mm-hmm.
Let's next font. Or next like check, which is that's part of it, right? And if we
Alrighty.
get a success, we just mob done.
I mean, I'm inclined to just do the mob done.
Do the mob done.
There we are. Okay. Git commit. Okay.
How many?
How many changes?
Next. How many next? Next. Mob next. It
Mob
doesn't
next.
really. It's not easy to
There's
count.
65.
Ooh.
Decent amount. Okay. What is this? A refactor? A chore? I don't know the nouns yet.
It's a refactor, right?
Okay, refactor flake.
Well, it's a refactor of something, but not of the programs itself. There's
Yep.
no source code of the program is changed, but yeah, refactor the flake is nice, right?
Okay.
Refactor the flake.
Get rid of.
Reorganize? I don't know.
Like.
Are you? Do you remember when I said it would be funny if our commit title after all this would be remove flatten tree?
I mean, that's the branch name. I kind of want to call it that. Yeah.
Ah. How about we call it reorganize something, and we can make that like in the body. It's like motivated by the removal, motivated in part by the removal of flatten tree.
Okay. Reorganize like parts module, but get rid of Latin tree. How's that sound?
Latin tree removed away. Live to code another day. Ship it.
All right. Git push. No. How does this work? Yeah, git push. Okay. And then we want a PR. PR create.
Yeah, it would also push for you if you didn't do it.
Oh, cool. Submit. Boom. Okay, I'm going to click Enable Auto Merge. Is that okay?
Yes, please.
Boom.
How is it?
Auto Merge.
You cannot, hold on. It's out of date.
Why do you say it's out of date?
Could you?
Oh, it is.
Because it says so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
I will disable the auto merge. It'll take a while, so you have a moment to do that.
Virgin. Yeah. Oh, okay. Good push there. Here we go. There we go. So we should check the number of to-dos we have. I'll rotate. But we should be down to one to-do. No, we added a to-do. Shoot. But that's an easy one to address.
Hold on just a moment. We wanted to add those keys. That's an easy one. And we wanted to, and also, so that's like a feature. And then we wanted also to break by removing that empty common one.
Yes.
But I can't make those changes against main.
No, you'd have to do it against our branch, which seems fine to me.
What's our branch? Axe
flatten.
You know, so mob clean.
And I did just force push to that branch, so, but I guess you never experienced that. Wonderful.
Yes. So here's the flake. Nix. Deleting that.
Okay.
Add p mate. Kind of a breaking chore.
Yeah.
It's funny that it's a breaking chore.
Okay.
I just want to see rc.yaml. Yeah, this preset would capture that syntax.
Okay.
So chore bang rem empty NixOS modules and also maybe like sorry what's going on?
Does Control L fix things?
It might, but I'm not there anymore. Sure. Flake bang. Oh no.
Control L?
I gotta see what this is about, huh?
Yeah.
Control L. Oh, thank you for that. That's really nice. I didn't know that. Some Linux nerd I am. Sure, flake bang.
Now you don't have to fix the issue. You'll just live with it now.
How about you help me fix the issue? Sure, flake bang. And then it would be like rem empty NixOS modules. Is this okay?
Love it. Ship it.
Well, shipping it. Like, where do you want me to ship it? I kind of want to do another. Because this branch is used. I kind of want to switch rem empty common.
Yes. Yeah, and then we can stack a PR on top of our existing PR.
It's not going to work because we have between them is going to make a... No, it's actually not, because there won't be a release. So that I think is fine.
I mean, we'll need to
Then
rebase, right? Because there's going to be a merge commit, but we can still create the PR.
Title's
So we're
no
just going to
good.
have to rebase it.
Mm-hmm. Its title should be the same as... how do I copy using this? Where's the commit? 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 This. How do I select visual mode?
Mm-hmm.
And then what?
Y
Yank?
for yank. I don't know if that puts it in your system clipboard though, so you'll learn. Cool.
What just happened there? Okay, that seems right. Draft. Okay. That's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Another one. Where's my timer? Did it run out? Suppose it ran out.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't start it. Not sure, but I'm okay to rotate.
Alrighty. Okay.
Take the helm.
Fetch origin. Start timer. Here we go. I'll do a get checkout. So we're gonna do this on top of X flatten tree. And what this will be is add key to Mixos module. Does that sound good?
Sure.
Okay. And then rg underscore file. I'll do this here, underscore file. So we're going to take this pattern, I'm copying it to my clipboard, and we're going to do this in our two Mixos modules. So Mixos module.nix, there's API and fetcher. Okay. And we're going to paste like that. We're going to rename this from DB to API. And up on top, we're going to add in module location. That might be it. Oop. I had to fix bug in that. My bad. Okay. Then same thing over in fetcher. Paste and module location. Okay.
And fetcher, not API.
Thank you. Excellent. That file still there? Darn it. Okay. Java. Module location, key and file. This is for API. And then module location and key and file for fetcher. Boom. Okay. What do we call this thing? Sure.
Next check.
Feature.
That's a feature.
Okay. Feature. Like that.
Feet.
Feet.
Yeah.
Add key. I don't know. Deduplication of.
NixOS modules have key and underscore file.
This gives better. This solves issues with diamond dependency and gives better error.
Okay.
Now good?
Maybe feet of the flake.
Okay.
feet. What's it called? Scope. Add a scope to the
Like that.
to the time. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. There we go. Go. Right. You push dash U origin. Add key to next module. Okay, my computer is dragging a bit. This is going to get homed on top of this one, right? Flattened tree. Oh, my poor computer. You can do it, computer. Create pull request. Okay. Great. All right, so we have 2 PRs, 3 PRs out. Satisfying. Everything's coming together, Shahar. All right. Shall we watch paint dry or talk about what's next?
Talk about what's next.
Okay. What
Poem.
is
Should be
next?
poem.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if you noticed. That's a good reminder. I'm going to stop share for a second and pull something from my email.
Your email.
Yeah, one of the issues
Don't
we
forget we're recording.
subscribed. Yes, well, I stopped the share.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you can't see my email.
I cannot.
Great. Okay. One of the issues we subscribed to when we were investigating the Rust ecosystem got a comment on it. So I don't know if you remember this, but we started playing around with Utoipa and we were disappointed at how easy it was to do the wrong thing.
What's
Does
your
this ring a
Toipa?
bell?
Is a API documentation, open API documentation generator.
Yeah, and we were trying to use it with Rocket.
But it's too late, Jeremy. I don't care what they think anymore.
Okay.
And I saw that the title of what you brought up there is idea.
Well, sure. We found this when we were doing research. There's a comment down
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
below that showed up yesterday, which I thought was
Okay.
uh, implied stuff is happening in a way that maybe doesn't change our plan, but it's likely to surprise people that this isn't how Utopic currently works. Yep.
Hmm.
We were both surprised and disappointed. Would panic at compile time.
Ew.
Okay. I know there's work in progress to auto-generate schema types and reduce some of the boilerplate, particularly with the Axum integration, which is great. Do full end-to-end schema generation. That's effectively what Poem OpenAPI does. Seems like a plausible way to avoid any/all boilerplate. Something like that on the cards, blah, blah, blah. So I just thought this was interesting as we're not the only ones who have identified this limitation. And this also does give us a +1 on hop and ship over to Poem.
I have full confidence in our past decisions.
Okay.
Not because they are our past decisions, but because I know why we made them.
Sure.
I don't need the next guy to think the same. But maybe I'm overly confident.
Yeah, well, I mean, things could have changed in the meantime. Maybe we took long enough at this that somebody could have made Utoipa plus Rocket work amazingly.
Jeremy?
But yeah. Oh, am I losing connection here?
Jeremy, don't you?
Hello, hello,
For a
hello.
moment.
Okay. Am I stable again?
Seems like it. Is it? Do I take the helm?
Yeah, I'll rotate over to you. Sorry.
It's okay. Oh, you have a good connection now. I mean, maybe
I
for
think
a
my
moment.
attempts to switch to hotspotting do not play nicely with Riverside. So I think in the future, it seems like these blips last for like less than a minute. So I think I'm just going to try to wait the next one out separately, maybe talk to our ISP about what the hell is going on. Or, you know what I could try actually? Uh, I could probably wire directly into our modem for our next session, cut out our Wi-Fi router and the whole network, and see if, just to prove that the issue exists, not inside of my house.
When are you back home?
Not for a while. I'm gonna be here for another month and a half,
Ooh.
month and a week.
Want to get a Starlink?
I That would be fun to have, but I don't
Mm.
want to spend $500 for something I'm
Is
not
that
really
how much
going
it
to
costs?
use. I
Ooh.
think the box or the dish is a big upfront
Mm-hmm.
cost, and I mean the monthly fee is like not cheap, but also not expensive, like maybe $100 or something.
What's the fiber situation?
I haven't looked. Uh, I don't know if there's fiber options. We're on good old cable here. I'll take a look.
All right. I'll take a turn.
Go for it.
Turn for the better.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What poem? Right. We just continue what we were the poem that
Yeah, we might
um
even have a branch. I can't remember, but I'm also.
in any
It might be
case
better to start fresh.
gh repo view web can happen. Yes. PRs. Is this taking a long time?
Uh,
And also, was there something in the poem branch that like made us think, we wish we had better like modules in this project?
no, the way we got here was. Oh shoot, am I cutting out again?
You disappeared again.
Can you hear me at least?
Ouch.
Man, this is annoying. I wonder if this is happening at the same time every day. All right, I'm gonna be patient and wait this one out. Setting a timer.
This complete or what? Yeah. It's merged. Good. Key and file. Which one? This is earlier. Rebase. Right? No. Opposite.
Sorry.
It's all right. I forgive
See if
you.
I stay here. Um,
Not sure the viewers will.
all right. You were asking if the checks seemed to be taking a while?
Um, well, Magic Nick's cache seems to work.
Great. Putting a bunch of
And
stuff in the cache
here
here.
it seems to, see, this is where it starts erroring. And see that?
Substitutor is
Like,
disabled. Okay.
I think that's probably, because for a while in the beginning, you get none of that. You get only success.
Mhm.
And then you start getting it. See? From the start, you get, but then it scrolls me automatically to the bottom. And
Okay. And this is it caching stuff at the end of the build? Is that what's happening?
so one is merged. The reorganization is merged.
Okay.
And this is rebased. This is the removing the empty one, breaking change. That's been rebased and auto merge enabled. And now I'm watching paint dry. Other than this, I think we can also switch to main and pull it because, oh, how about you help me solve this timeout problem, huh?
Oh boy. Let's take a look. Can you repro the issue?
Well, I should repro. Yeah, press enter a few times on the, but I'm sure it's a known issue, right? This thing taking charge of my shell history and something about timeout, right? Seems to randomly forget lots of history, also strange fuzzy search behavior. Database is locked on startup,
Stat up.
down binding, closed.
That bug is filed by somebody from Boston.
This looks
Stat
okay.
up.
What?
I'm just making a joke about the typo and Boston accents. Don't mind me.
That
Stat up.
that's a localized joke. I wouldn't even know.
Oh, Boston accents are not a universal concept.
Mm-hmm.
That's too bad. They're wonderful accents.
Boston is the capital of Massachusetts, right?
That I didn't know it was the capital, but it's in Massachusetts. Massachusetts.
Okay. Bug error
Massachusetts.
pool
I don't
timed
know.
out while waiting for an open connection. That seems like exactly what I'm getting.
Mm-hmm.
What happened? Blah blah blah. Thanks for the issue. Update the latest release. What do I have? 1830 and confirm. This error codes when you cannot connect to SQLite in a reasonable amount of time.
5
5
seconds.
seconds. Bit strange that it's happening on Mac OS. Okay, I think this is just Atwin getting the blame for slow reads caused by a plugin messing up Tmux. I'm not using Tmux.
So when these things happen, are they tied to 5 seconds of waiting
I
in some way?
think. What? 5 seconds?
Like, can you repro this if you open a
Talking about
brand
5
new
seconds.
directory, create an nvarc that does like a sleep 10?
So that took a moment just to CD into it,
That
right?
was not 5 seconds.
But it wasn't 5 seconds. It was 2
Absolutely.
seconds. It also showed up twice. And it's also not the same. It's not the same path.
How many
This is Atuin source command client.
processes do you have running on your system right now? Like, is this something, a daemon that runs in the background, or is it something that spins up per?
No, currently nothing. It's just
Okay,
SQLite, right? That's no daemon SQLite.
sure. But why did the CD? Okay, so the CD is Atuin adding something to your shell history. That's basically every command causes a write to that SQLite database.
Yeah.
Okay,
Here's the CDs, the make dears, the
makes sense.
bottom. But the CD foo is not here because it failed to enter the history.
Got it.
Make dear foo, but not CD foo. But it's just 2 seconds.
Can you get an LSOF on the SQLite database? It would be interesting to see if there are processes that are opening it for more than a moment.
It won't be in config, would it? Because that's not where
Probably like
you'd put
local
it.
share would be the place it should go.
Good call.
Nice. Oh, and this is confusing because SQLite has that write ahead
Here's another
file.
one. You know what happened now? This happened right before I pressed enter.
Okay.
Why would this even
Why
happen?
would Ituin even run before you press enter?
Yeah. Why? How? What the heck?
I mean, that we could look into how Ituin hooks into your shell just to better understand when it's supposed to run. Maybe it's misconfigured and it's running on every T press or something. I don't know. Try the write ahead lock, the WAL.
Sorry?
SQLite has 2 files for databases nowadays. There's the DB,
Okay.
but that's not the one that processes generally write to. It's the WAL, the write ahead log. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So what I'd do at this point is I would do like a watch dash. I don't know. Maybe do this in a loop, like do a while true, do LSOF of this file. I just want to see if we see processes opening up this file. Yeah, while true, semicolon do, LSOF of that file. This is a good opportunity to use alt dot.
Isn't don't I have in bottom something like
Oh, maybe.
I don't think so. There's only the process pane, but inside here.
Excuse me.
No, there's no such thing. Alt dot?
Yeah.
But alt dot,
Whoa.
this is what alt dot caused.
That is surprising.
Don't
I mean,
even...
alt dot should insert the last argument of the previous command.
I'm not... This is Vim mode that matters.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Then I have no idea.
This way?
Well, we want the write ahead log, I think. Not .db, but .db-file.
That's a
like that.
loop here.
Okay. And then, yeah, I don't know if you like open a new terminal or something. Can we see some stuff show up here?
Also, you notice that kind of it loses the. I don't know what this means. It loses the title.
I mean, I guess the other thing we could try is if we understood the commands that your shell
Well, look.
is running. Oh, you got something to happen. Nice.
Yeah, I executed something and then
Dope.
add to in, add to
Okay.
in. Wait, but why so many times? I mean, it's not so many times. It's the same PID, and because
Yeah,
it's in
this
a
is just,
loop.
we're in a tight loop. So
Mm-hmm.
it's almost maybe
Same
impressive
file
that Bash,
descriptor, same process, same open. Okay,
yeah, like Bash managed to
got it.
check this file 5 times while the Rust application had this file open, which is almost way to go Bash, right? um, or Zeesh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, can you repro the issue and maybe we can see if there's a long running process that has this file open?
Repro the issue, like typing something and waiting.
I don't know. Yeah, like just if we can, I think it would be interesting to see if something has this file open for an extended period of time when the issue occurs.
Don't know. Whoops. Tab. Tab does it.
Okay, that was a few moments. We saw not 5 seconds, but maybe that's
Look,
configurable.
but tab shouldn't even.
Trigger Atuin to run.
Yeah.
I agree. Unless Atuin's hooking into your like auto completion or something. So how are you hooking Atuin into your shell? I think that's the next question. Like when is it supposed to
Home
run?
manager.
Oh boy.
We can look at the
Maybe we look at the home manager source
RC.
code.
There's RC, Atuin.
Okay.
It
Can we see
basically
what that
does what
command
Atuin
prints?
does.
Yeah. So can we
Yeah,
run that
Atuin
init
needs
zeesh
this.
command and see what
Yeah,
it prints?
Atuin needs this.
Don't source it. I
And
just want to see what it. Oh, or yeah, that's great. Awesome. Okay.
but at this point, I actually want to just go and search for tab
Sure. Go for it.
in their bug tracker. And Atuin plus starship plus Zush plus accept line override is clearing previous command. Clearing previous. Doesn't sound like it. Bind. Kind of expecting to find tab in the title. Okay, that failed.
Mm-hmm. So when is this thing hooking? How is this hooking into your
First,
shell?
how long is this? This is 119 lines. Yes,
Okay,
going.
so the bind keys are
Kind of
moderately
running out of time
interesting.
for the night.
Yeah,
But
we can
if you
also
have a
stop.
quick
I'm good to keep going. This is totally up to you, man.
yeah, I should probably keep this for next time.
Okay. Sounds good.
What's up with this?
Chugging along.
You know, I can hear my computer. Did you ever have like You know what a hard disk drive sounds like, right?
The
You know what
spinning
it's like to
platters.
sit next to a desktop computer
Hmm.
and and like hearing the hard disk drive, the seek head move
Yeah,
move around, right? You know what that sounds like, right?
I think so. I've definitely heard it before.
That this is I've had desktop computers since I was 6.
Hmm.
So it's integral in my computing usage history. Talking 30 years now.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that
You
my
have
current
spinning
desktop,
platters in this desktop though, or is it
no,
all okay?
I don't even have
No moving
SATA. Like I
parts.
have 3 NVMe
M.2.
M.2 NVMe SSDs. Now, I can hear my computer think.
Is it the fans spinning up as it gets hot?
No, it corresponds. It sounds like that sound that I'm familiar with from seeking hard disk drive.
Hmm.
I can't explain it. It sounds so much like that, but it's obviously not. So I'm thinking, maybe something is noisy and it's triggered by storage I/O.
Hmm.
Like if I run a big Nix-like check, if it is fully utilized, I don't know what's causing the noise, but I can hear it.
Hmm.
And I can hear it now that I'm with one ear out of the headset. It's clear as day.
Wow.
And it's a fully modern desktop. Like, what is it?
I have no idea. I would expect the only moving parts are like fans, but I guess that it's not necessary.
it's not a moving
Moving
part. You
parts is
know,
not the only things that
capacitor
make
wine,
noise.
right?
Okay.
But it's not capacitor wine because capacitor wine
Well,
is like a more like a constant. This
Shar, you
is
should
not that.
create a little server room, put your UPS in there and your desktops, and then have thin terminals. Quiet, fanless, thin terminals. Get all the power, none of the space or noise.
Word, word.
I would be
Okay.
interested in that. I haven't looked into what it would be like to try to use a beefy Linux machine when I'm like that's not at my desk. With like have some thin client at my desk or something. I don't know what
Did you
technology.
see those Ampere Ultra machines?
Nope. That's a flavor of
ARC
AMD or ARM
ARC
processor.
64. Ampere is a brand, and they make ARC 64 desktop CPUs. Am I correct, or is it ARM 64? ARM 64 is ARC
Yeah,
64, right?
they're I think
What is,
synonymous.
so I think that's what they make, and it's like 90 up to 96 cores in a single CPU.
That's a lot of cores.
I don't know the clock speed of that, but they're unencumbered by the x86
Hmm.
encumbrance.
Wowza.
and and so they don't need nearly. I have like this all-in-one water cooling with a
Hmm.
this size radiator that sits 3 fans on it, and I still get up to 90 early 90s Celsius.
Hmm.
That's a lot, right? Like nearly boiling water.
Yep.
Water boils at 100.
Right.
And it's 16 cores. But these Altair Ampere Ultras, they have 96 cores, and they have a small, I look at it and it looks like an old desktop because it has a small generic fan,
Well,
heat-seeking fan on it.
these are for for home use, like
I know them
or for
from
servers.
developers. I've seen like developers post them on X. They post photos, and I've seen one who's working on like um, computer vision,
Mm-hmm.
which is massively parallel.
Got it.
Being able to compile a Rust program with many crates, in a massively parallel fashion.
Mm-hmm.
You have like nearly as many cores as crates.
Impressive.
So
Sounds
I know
fun.
this. I bought this recently, but those Ampere Ultras look pretty cool. Pretty cool. The only problem is I don't think any game would work on them because games are binary distributed proprietary,
Yeah.
and that's kind of a no. But some do. Some do. And it's
Yeah.
not because of the game developer. I think it's a layer provided by Steam. Proton something.
Some sort of like translation from one instruction set to another in some clever way.
Yeah. I think
Emulation.
Steam are the number one threat to Microsoft.
Okay. I don't
Sorry.
even know
Well,
what
both to
Microsoft
both to
like.
Microsoft and to
Microsoft does
Intel
so much stuff.
and AMD.
Like I think of Microsoft, I
Right.
think of Microsoft
Yeah.
Windows, but that's like only one, maybe even not the biggest thing they do. I don't even know.
Yeah, totally. No, they have reduced their risks with diversity. Definitely.
So when you say they're a risk to Microsoft, are you referring to
They're a risk to
what
Windows.
pie to Microsoft Windows? Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
They're a risk to Windows.
is
Definitely.
Steam Valve? I guess are they building a
Valve.
operating
I'm
system?
sorry. I'm the main Valve.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, what they?
Are they trying to provide a consumer desktop experience or something?
No, but they are the driving force behind games working on Linux.
Oh, got it.
Because
I
I've been playing on Linux.
really,
NixOS, yeah, NixOS
Jesus,
programs Steam enable true,
yeah,
and I'm off to the races.
wow. You are a braver man than I. I still have we have a Windows gaming PC, but I would
Try
love
it.
to.
It's right there.
Wow,
It's right there.
oh
I've
man,
played several games. They run, I don't know, as nice or better than Windows. I couldn't tell, really.
wow, damn, man, a NixOS gaming machine. There's a dream.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
All right,
Yeah, I've
Jeremy,
done all.
gotta go walk the
Okay.
dog.
You're opening my mind, Shahar. But I'm picking my battles, and this is not a battle I'm gonna pick.
All right.
I wanted to tell you
Thank
one thing
you.
before we go. Sorry. You know how I'm using
I'll
fish?
let me.
Okay, yeah, let's
Okay.
end the.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it.
I'll end it. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and even sponsor. See you next time. Bye bye.